Hola!
Hola, pura vida from Costa Rica.
Welcome to Cacao and Conscious Conversations. We are currently in the Chiripo Mountains of Costa Rica, the heart chakra of Costa Rica. This
And
mountain...
we're sipping on
cacao.
cacao. Cheers.
Cheers. Here's a dog. We are in this magical place right now called Finca Milagros, which is a beautiful farm and sacred space. Our friends Brad and Nikki built this sanctuary here up in the mountains, and it truly is so magical here.
Yeah, we feel honored to be here.
This place is like a mecca of nature's art, is what I want to say. Different waterways. The river is down here. They've got the garden up there. They have chickens growing mushrooms. They've got a fire ceremony area, you know, over here. It's just...
They have orchard, they have garden. It's just they're growing so much.
Yeah, it's super, super amazing.
So we're just enjoying the fruits and the vegetables of the land. And
There's
we're so
here.
thankful to be enjoying all of that, to have that opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah.
So many bananas. I ate red bananas today. We've got
Pink
plantains,
bananas?
pink bananas. We've got eggs. I eat the eggs here because the chickens are happy. They're so happy here. Woo! We wanted to talk to you guys today about our time here in Costa Rica. Oh my gosh, it's been super magical. We just had our Starseed Sacred Awakening retreat up here on the mountain, and holy cow, it was, I don't even know.
Next level.
Yeah, next level, phenomenal, magnificent. It was out of this world, super cosmic. It was just amazing, like amazing. This was the best retreat that we've ever had. As far as intention, the people, the camaraderie, the connection, the love, the vulnerability, the willingness for everyone to go so deep. So deep. And I'm grateful that this group, there was hardly any resistance. Everyone was willing to totally go for it. And I'm just so excited to see what this group is going to create, you know, in their lives moving forward. So here in Costa Rica, we curated a 9-day retreat in the Chiripo Mountains where we work with sacred plant medicines, amazing plant medicines that help you heal on the deepest level, heal your light body, heal ancestral lineage. So much wounding gets healed, you know, here, inner child wounding. I mean, you name it, so many things. Physical things too.
This is really an intensive, immersive experience. So yes, plant medicine is a big part of it, but that's not all of it. You know, we are working with Temazcal, which is sweat lodge, right? That's very powerful ceremony in its own, and on its own. And then we work with cacao. It's just, and of course we're talking with everybody throughout the experience. So there is plenty of time for reflection, for intentions, for sitting with yourself, focusing on your goals, on your purpose, on your mission. And if that's not clear, you can use other ceremonies to hone in on that. And so it's been super powerful, and the level of healing and expansion that has happened for everybody is a direct testament to everybody's commitment to doing all the work leading up to the retreat, and then being open and surrendering to the process and surrendering to everything that is showing up for them.
And today we want to share our own personal experiences and the insights that we receive. I mean, even though we are the curators of this retreat, there's so much that we get that we get to always, every time we receive so much, feel so much. Like a lot happens for the both of us too. So we just wanted to share that and let you know what we experienced with all of the ceremonies that we partook in, and all the magic that happened here in the mountains. I swear, this Chilipo Mountains holds a special galactic portal. When you're attuned to that frequency of your cosmic self, you can really go deep. so deep here, and this is what everybody experienced, even myself, even Iggy, in this sacred portal. And so, did you want to start, Iggy, and share? You had massive, you had like super massive stuff happen.
So I'm not a newcomer to plant medicine, and you know, my journey with plant medicine started in the beginning of 2018. So it's been 5 years plus since I worked with plant medicine, but you never know what other doors you may open, what other levels of expansion you may unlock. And this was like mind-blowing for me, because I had such a profound, intimate relationship and connection with the source.
Profound.
Profound discussion that wouldn't stop, and I had a hard time sleeping, which is not really my problem. Normally I sleep like a log, lights out, and I'm pretty much unaware what's going on when I'm really like resting. But like when I got into the ceremony space, I really wasn't able to sleep for 5 days. Even on the days off when we were not working with ceremony, I was just
Iggy was
fully
with the
awake.
medicine for like 5 days, immersed in
And what
it.
happened once we were done with plant medicine and we were partaking cacao, I felt like I was back in a plant medicine journey. The night that we took cacao and we had cacao ceremony, so it was full-on experience of getting lessons and downloads from the source, which I will be sharing with humanity. And it's been so beautiful and so joyful and so insightful that I was just profoundly humbled, and also I was in this state of joy and gratitude because of it all.
You guys should have seen Iggy afterwards. He was just like this, giggling and laughing like and screaming like crazy with so much joy, and just like, whoa! It was just so funny to just experience the joy that was like exuding through his body. And I mean, like, I couldn't stop laughing. It was just hilarious, but also infectious, you know, too. So it was amazing to see and to experience.
I'm really grateful for it all. This was like really potent experience for me, and I could also feel the level of healing and transformation within everybody else, and that is really why we are called to keep doing that, because we see the joy in people, we see their transformation. Their lives are never going to be the same again. Like it's gonna upshift for so much better in their lives.
What was like the biggest for you, like biggest revelation for you, the biggest like insight, download? What was like the biggest thing for you?
The biggest insight for me was to ask source. You know, as the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. It is true. But most of the time, we are not really listening. The source, God, the universe, whatever you might call it, and I'm not a religious person, okay? It is always with us, okay? It's always speaking to us in many different ways. The question is, are you willing to listen? Are you willing
Yeah.
to get out of your head, and
Are
and
you?
and overcome doubts, okay, overcome all the programming that we've been infected with, right? And so, or would we allowed willingly or knowingly or unknowingly to enter into our field and to impact us in this physicality? So I got into this state where my mantra for the ceremonies has become, please guide me, please teach me, please lead me, guide me to understanding, guide me to love, guide me to the truth, and guide me to kindness and compassion for everybody else in their journeys. Guide me to endless peace and joy, and through these mantras, and like I was actually saying them quietly, but I was actually whispering them, so I didn't do them quietly in my head, but actually made subtle ripple in a field, and through that I sort of unlocked this access to the dialogue that I was completely blown away by. And I shared aspects of that dialogue with the group afterwards. So it was super potent, and I'm so grateful for that, because there were just so many profound truths that were shared, and I feel I'm here to share more of that. But I need to continue to working on myself and to make sure that I can be clear and not be in my way to block myself from receiving more of what's coming.
The BAM. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone. Everyone. We all have, I feel like, access to source, to divinity itself, and it's just all the different things that are inorganic and the mind that plays a role in stopping us from receiving what is supposed to be natural within us. So I'm so glad that a lot came. You received so many downloads, many downloads, and that is coming soon. all of it will be streamed out and shared with everyone. What did you feel was the most, I want to say, like, loving or blasting of your heart expansion moment for you?
Just feeling the presence of the source around me, to be in that field where you feel like your emotions are overwhelmed. It is not possible for me to describe in words really what that felt like. It was just this overwhelming presence of love, kindness, power. It's just the joy, all of those qualities that the source embodies. I just felt aspect of it, and it was so overwhelming to me that it was difficult to hold it in,
Yeah.
and I had tears streaming down my cheeks throughout the experience, because it was overwhelming. I couldn't really express it fully, and just had to let that flow through me and feel it within my entirety of my being, and that was really powerful.
Wow. That's one of the things that the sacred medicine can do. It can help you get out of your way so that you can feel that love consciousness flowing through into your body, and it's like physically felt.
Yeah.
Physically felt. Is there anything else that you would like to share about your experience? Maybe the overall retreat, personally for you, not everybody else, but you. Like, what for you, what was it that you felt so strongly, or that you experienced, or anything about the whole retreat for you personally?
Well, those experiences with the source, feeling the presence of source around me, and that dialogue didn't stop even when the ceremony was over. It continued through the night, it continued through the day. All I needed to do is tune in and continue receiving the messages. So,
And am.
so that is, the epiphany from that was that is always available to all of us. That never stops. That communication is always there, and we can continue asking questions and receiving answers. And we need to utilize certain tools. We need to purify ourselves because we are subject to distortions, right? So that is why we have to make sure that we don't exist in the mind, because the source downloads that information to our inner heart, right? High heart, inner heart, whichever way you put it, but basically that is the intelligence. That's how we receive the knowing, right? And that knowing is just it's something that just in the core of your being, and when the doubt comes up, that comes from your mind, and so I was asking many things, source, and I was asking source, how do we reign in our mind? And basically the answer that I received is that's not possible, and the only way to do it is to exist in our heart, to get into our heart, and that's why we love working with cacao, because it's such a beautiful medicine to expand our heart chakra and to exist in that heart space, so we don't let mind rule us. Okay, and so many lessons from that, and I started this kind of like heart opening journey more than a year ago, but like a year ago I realized that we can make a conscious choice to exist in our hearts. As a man, I've been primarily wired to exist in a mind. This is how I've been wired and programmed to continue to focus on my mind, intellect and mind, and those are kind of things that we tend to, as humanity nowadays, raise on a pedestal, that we think that brilliance, intellectual brilliance, is like the pinnacle of existence, but really heart is where it's at, because heart embodies kindness and compassion, which is something that mind really doesn't get into. Mind doesn't get into so much emotions, right? Mind is very analytical. Mind can be very sterile when it comes to emotions, and so it tends to disconnect from a lot of those things. And so there is nothing wrong with being brilliant intellectually, but when you don't contain compassion, when you don't include other aspect of yourself, then it could be very destructive as well. And so it was clear to me that I desire to exist in that space of my heart, and to act from my heart, to interact from my heart in all situations in my life, and use mind when necessary for the analysis and perspective and other things, but not spend so much time in the mind. And so those were big lessons for me.
That's huge. That's really, really huge. I think it's one thing to kind of know that in the mind, know it, but then it's another thing to like experience, right? To experience through your body,
Right.
through your body, because the body is where we get to experience everything through the body. And so this is the journey. The journey here is through the body. Yeah, so that's so wonderful. Thank goodness. Because when you do have experience with God, source, universe, higher power, you feel so much more than your physical. Like the vastness of who you are. You know that this isn't it for you, this physical body. You're more you're multidimensional, and you are a fractal of God's source here on earth. And there's so much that we can do as creators because we are a fractal of the creator itself. So we can actually create heaven on earth. And that kind of brings me to my own journey, because my whole journey was about creation. My whole experience, 3 ceremonies, was about creating, about creation, creating from thin air, creating anything you desire. And so I was brought to a field of consciousness that was like white plasma, field of consciousness. And well, actually, the first thing that happened to me is I was met by these beings that were they were showing me where they lived. I was actually in another world, in another realm, and they were showing me this city of light. And I saw like crystalline palaces and buildings. I saw like these flying vehicles, and I just asked where am I? They told me that I was in a city of light, and it was this family who was talking to me, a husband or the father. There was a mother and there was the children, and they wanted to show me that realm. And so they were showing me, and they said, anything here you can create. Like if you want to eat a banana, and he went like this to me, and then a banana appeared on his palm, and I was like, oh wow. And he's like, see this city of light? We can take this all out right now and change it. So he and then when he went like this, it became jungle. He's like, you like the jungle, let's make jungle dwellings. And so I saw all these plants and trees, and he saw these really it was like galactic dwellings inside of the jungle. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen anything like that before. And he's like, we can live like this if we want to, if we choose. We can be in this kind of dwelling. They use dwelling, not homes or anything. They said dwellings. And I was like, wow, this is so, I would live here. Mm-hmm. And then I got taken into another world, which was different. It was these monkey humanoid beings. And there was a chief that came to me, and he said that he told me we embody tribal codes. So what you'll see here is you'll see many families, which I saw tons and tons of families with so many children. I saw all of these, and it's hard to describe because it's not like Earth. It's not like there's a place here and there's a house. There's a place. Mm-hmm. It was like we were in different spheres of consciousness, is what he was showing me. But what he said was that they love to be together. They love to experience everything in their togetherness, even the children. So everything that they were doing it together. And so I saw them all eating together, everyone was eating at the same time. But it was they were in pocket of spheres, is what I want to say. I couldn't really see a specific environment, a jungle or anything, like that. But it was interesting because before I went to this realm, I was taken to this place. It looked like a home that was built. What are those things, Iggy, on the Maloka? What is it called? The grass.
The leaves.
The leaves.
They're folded leaves of specific plants.
I forgot what it's called. But anyways, I was seeing this house that had the grass leaves on the top, and there was a woman.
It's similar to a thatched roof.
Yeah, a thatched roof.
But it's made, instead of reeds, it's made of specific leaves from specific tree.
That's it.
That lasts 10 years.
Right. So I was seeing this house that had the leaves like that as the roof. And there was a woman, and she was very Polynesian looking. She was this older Polynesian woman wearing Hawaiian print dress. She was wearing a hakule, you know, on her head. She was wearing flowers around her neck, sort of like close to her neck. And she didn't talk to me, but she said, come in, like, come on in. So I went up the steps on this porch, and when I opened the door, I was in this like monkey humanoid realm, and that's how I experienced that. But it was really beautiful to see how these humanoid, like monkey humanoid beings like to be together. And he was telling me that these are the codes that we have humans here on Earth have tribal codes.
Well, and this
too.
is what we have inherited also from primates.
Mm-hmm. And he was telling me that there's been a like distortion in those tribal codes, but the tribal codes are coming back. So as we do more healing and things get activated within us, then we're going to experience that. And then in one of my ceremonies, which was amazing, I was met by my friend's avatar baby. And she came to me like she was 2.5, almost 3 years old looking, and she brought me into this field of consciousness that was like aurora light, you know. And then she told me that in this field of consciousness we can create anything. And I said, what can we create? And she goes, well, you like rainbows, so let's create rainbows. And then she was like, rainbow here, rainbow, 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 different colored rainbows, glitter rainbows, sparkly rainbows, just different colors of rainbows everywhere. And I was looking around and like, wow, this is so cool. I was trying not to giggle because, you know, we're in ceremonies. So I was like laughing like inside and like trying to hold my laugh in because everything was so fun. And then she's like, let's go, follow me. And I'm like, where are we going? She said, we're gonna slide down the rainbows. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. And then we were one rainbow after another. We were like sliding down, sliding down, sliding down, sliding down. And then she told me, you like unicorns? And I said, yeah, I do like unicorns. And then she's like, okay. She started to create these giant unicorn horns like this big. They were everywhere in front of me. Different ones, sparkly, gold, you know, silver, pink, sparkle, rainbow, polka dot, all kinds of different unicorn horns, like all over that I could see. And I said, what? Whoa, this is so cool. And she's like, pick one. And then I said, okay, I picked the rainbow one. And I like put it on myself, and it just stayed there, the rainbow like unicorn horn. And then I still had that unicorn horn, and she said, I know you like Costa Rica. I go, yeah. And she goes, and you like the jungle? And I said, yes. And then she's like, okay, we're gonna go to the jungle. And I go, but wait, we're in like the unicorn horns, and there were like rainbows behind it. And she goes, no, we're gonna change it. And she just wiped it out, and it just looked like Costa Rica. All these huge trees, jungle, foliage. Oh my God, it was so amazing, and we had so much fun in there. She said, you like zip lining, right? I said, yeah, I like zip lining. She's like, okay, let's zip line. I was like, what? So she created this like long ass zip line, and I was on it with her, and I was holding her because she looked like human, like two-year-old. And she's like, okay, let's go. And then bam, we were on this like harness thing, and I was holding her, and this zip line went like faster than what a Earth zip line was. Like, we were like going through the jungle so fast, like going, and I was just seeing everything around, like water and waterfalls and trees and flowers. I can't even remember the smell, because I could smell everything as we were like going down and going so super fast. And I could feel it in the ceremony. I could feel it in my body that like I kind of screamed a little bit, because I was screaming inside. I was like, wah! As we were going, you know, because it was like I want to say, like, what is it called when you ride a plane and you're like going back like that? The G-force, like a G-force was like pushing, you know, me. And I remember her holding so tight. And then she said, you like the Tarzan swing? I go, yeah, it's so fun. And here in Costa Rica, they have a Tarzan swing where you drop like
80 meters.
yeah, you start from above and then you drop, zoop, and then you swing back and forth like a giant swing. Like you're just harnessed right here, so you just drop kind of like a bungee sort of. So I was like, okay, so we did that. We were like up on this platform, and I swear we dropped more than 8. I don't even know how far down, because I remember like, "Wah!" like screaming. I'm holding her, and then we're swinging like so far out, but everything was jungle, and I just was screaming so loud. Then she said, okay, let's bring your kids here. I go, wait, what? We can I can bring my kids here? And she's like, yeah. And then my 4 children were with me on that Tarzan swing with her, and it was like my arms were super long, and I don't know, they were stretched out, and I was holding all 5 of them with my arms. It was really weird. My arms were like I don't know, that rubber person. I forgot, like, I don't know, in the
Gumby.
not yeah, kind of like Gumby, but what's a superhero family that
Incredibles.
yeah, where is it the mom that has that? Anyways, I was holding him, and then we went down, and we're all screaming. I could see all my kids. It was so much
The
fun.
incredible Judy.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And then she told me, like, after we experienced like that, oh my God, I was laughing so much in the ceremony. She said, not everyone can come here. And I was like, why? Why can't everyone come into this space? And she goes, because they have to do some things to come here. And I said, okay. She goes, but I am here most of the time. And I said, okay, so what do we need to do to come to this place, to this field of consciousness? And she's like, well, you live on a prison planet. She told me. And I go, yeah, I know that. And she goes, that's why it's hard to come here, is because you live on a prison planet. And I said, well, what do we need to do? And she said, you need to raise your vibration, and you need to do a lot of healing, and you need to activate your DNA.
That's how you break out of the prison.
So that's what she told me. And she said, not everyone is going to come here. Not everyone is going to make it here. She goes, but some people are gonna make it here. And so that was the main crux of one of the ceremonies, is being in that field of consciousness and creation, knowing that we have the ability to be the creator and create anything here that we desire. In my last ceremony, she came to me again, and she told me, like, you can come here for healing. She was like only 5 minutes in my ceremony, and she's like brought me to that field of consciousness again and said, you can come here for healing. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Okay. But in that last ceremony, I was shown my Christo Sophia template. I was seeing Iggy's template too, and kind of seeing how our geometry was similar and not similar, and the codexes that we hold, and that we have similar codes because of what we're supposed to do here on the planet. And so it made me feel more anchored in my mission here, and what I'm supposed to do here. And coming away from that third ceremony, I feel like, all right, let's get to work. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's help humanity. Let's heal. Let's activate our DNA. Let's get to that field of consciousness where we are the creators of our reality, and we can create like that, anything that we want. And so that was kind of my biggest takeaway from that, is knowing that it doesn't have to be hard. and like, of course, the work that you put in and healing yourself, because it is about bioregenesis of our DNA. When you start doing that, then of course your template starts to change, and then you have different experiences, and you know yourself to be multidimensional. So, I mean, I wasn't the only one who had experiences like that. I mean, everyone who came to this retreat had crazy, amazing activations and downloads and connections like Iggy with source energy, just like messages were coming through. Healing. It was just amazing, and words can't even just describe I want to say like the depth of transformation, that happened. And also the deepest love connection of soul family too. This was by far our best retreat, and I just know that moving forward, I understand now that with specific intentions, that if you live your life like it's a ceremony, that was kind of a download that I just got. I got that before, but it was really impressed upon me yesterday in meditation. I was getting like, okay, you need to live your life like it's a ceremony. Everything. You're washing the dishes. You're brushing your teeth. You're taking care of a baby. You're cleaning the floor. Everything can be a ceremony. You can do everything with so much heart, and you can do everything with so much love. Like as Iggy said, get out of the mind, because the mind is the thing that fucks us up. The mind is the thing that keeps us in lower vibration. The mind is what takes us into that that kind of feeling, right? But you can do everything with joy.
Sure.
You can.
Yeah.
And so it's a choice. So if you see your life like a ceremony and put intention in anything and everything. This is what they told me. Everything. And when I got this download like a few months ago, they told me to do everything as a ceremony. And I go, you want me to go to the bathroom, take a shit, and that's a ceremony too? And they're like, yeah, that's a ceremony too.
I mean, there is beauty in all of it. I mean, we sometimes tend to judge certain things.
But that's a mind when you judge.
Right. More like we place value on certain things that is greater than other. I mean, sometimes just simple act of walking can be so liberating and so beautiful. And so like this physicality, this existence in form is such a tremendous gift. It is such a beautiful opportunity to experience the kind of things that are not possible when we are not in physicality. We are exposed to tremendous range of emotions, which also get us in trouble sometimes and make us feel, the darkness, the sadness, the depression or whatnot.
But we're here to master our emotions.
We also have access to joy, gratitude, bliss, love, and ultimately we always have a choice to shift out of lower vibrational states of being into higher states of being. And that is really mastery. That is the practice that we are here to embody and to master, right? Because that's where it's at. Once you learn to exist in peace, in harmony with all things and all beings, and in love and joy and bliss, I mean, that's paradise right here in this dimensionality. So, source is ever present everywhere. So just because we think of this dimension as very dense and, not so, pretty with all of the other would we identify as negative aspects of life, like decay and death and sickness and all of that serves a purpose. Every single part of that serves a purpose. It's part of the cycle of life. And we can transmute that once we learn how it all functions and we choose to heal and activate within ourselves and choose the higher states of existence.
And it is like the download that I got about making everything a ceremony. That's the choice. When you choose and you put intention into something, into everything, doing the laundry, whatever, you put intention in everything, that is making a conscious choice. And so when I got the message that do everything as if it's a ceremony, every little thing, anything.
And the amount of effort is the same. So whether
Exactly.
you look at doing the laundry with displeasure and disgust, like, oh, I have to do this thing that I really hate doing, well, guess what? The amount of effort doing it this way versus doing with joy, it's the same.
And
But the experience is completely different,
exactly.
diametrically opposed. So how do you choose to exist? And this is the big lesson for all of us. Like, how do we choose to exist in every moment?
Right. And so this is, when you are not living consciously, when you're allowing your external world to dictate, how you feel, and you're reacting to things like that, that's a deep lesson. It is a very deep lesson. And if you're conscious about it, you can reflect on like, whoa, the my environment, the universe right now, I'm learning a deep lesson about something.
And ultimately there are no mistakes. Sometimes we just need to repeat the lessons over and over again until we get it.
Yep.
So, we can learn to stop judging, to saying, oh, I'm like tripping again, or like I'm making constantly mistakes and this and that. No, these are just lessons. And if you're just aware, like, oh, I have like slipped into a lower state of vibration, and that's just showing me that I have an opportunity to shift out of that, then you can be thankful for it and not judge it.
And what's really helpful, I find too, is that, Iggy and I do 3 months of integration with all the people that
retreat
come on retreat with them, with us, is that when you go back after doing something that's so transformational, you just elevated so much in your energy field, your frequency, that when you go back, no one else has. So it can be totally challenging. It can be difficult. It can be sometimes like such a challenge to navigate through relationships, co-workers, your life, and everything after being in the jungle for like over a week. You don't have that support. Here there's so much support. Here everyone at the retreat center, us, this the Mother Gaia, the river, the mountains, this galactic portal. There's so much support, here, and we understand that it can be hard going back, and this is why we provide so many different tools for people when they go back, so you can learn more energetic mastery and actually understand things more on the ascension level, so that you can really be attuned to the greater aspect of what is going on here on the planet and what your role is here. And so that is part of why we're here, Iggy and I. That is part of our mission, is to help people see the grander vision of what we're moving through in this age of light, age of Aquarius, and moving into new earth frequencies, this ascension timeline. And for me, I want to say the biggest heart expansion within myself personally, I felt that this work that I've done, from last year to this year, that I received so many different healing activations in this last year, that I just saw myself and actually experienced myself in this retreat on a whole another level. I mean, I'm still experiencing myself as more of embracing my Sophia codes in that my divine mother energies and aspects are like flowing through, and that the love within me is really sinking in more in my body, and that I'm able to hold so much more space, because even after the retreat I had women come with me to the coast, and we spent like 5 days together and holding space for those women at the coast. And then now I'm here with my whole family and holding space again, for what's transpiring here. And so I just find like my capacity to be love and in that energy of compassion, kindness, gentleness, being of service is like way beyond what I thought was gonna happen. To me here, I didn't really know the capacity of my own heart, and I didn't know how much I could really give. And so I feel like I haven't, like, it hasn't stopped. Like, I'm still going, and I still feel like I can do that. And so that's kind of, for me, my biggest heart takeaway was that, like, holy cow, like, I'm a powerhouse of love. Like, hot damn. Like I'm just like Goddess Sophia that can, like, really hold so many people. So many people in whatever that they're going through. And this is kind of like a eye-opening experience for me, and like a big revelation in that, wow, we really are love embodied. We really are love. This is what we are. So it's like I feel that capacity, like whoosh, like expand in my field and be of service no matter what's going on, like within me. I can still give no matter what. Even though I'm going through or working through something within myself, like I can still be in that space of love no matter what.
You are in your mastery, Judy Boo.
I am. And so
I admire you for that.
I really, for me, this experience here has shown me my capacity to love. So this is what I know, is that all humans, almost all humans, have that same capacity and have that same ability to love so deeply from the space of their hearts, which is connected to God's source, that we can shift this planet and create new earth here, where we can create paradise here on earth. True paradise where everybody is in that energy of love 100% of the time. We're moving there. Woo!
Aho.
Aho to that! Woo!
I finished my cacao.
Oh, you finished your cacao.
Cheers.
Cheers! If you guys would love to come with us next year, we have the Starseed Sacred Awakening Retreat happening next year. It's got the dates down, May 31st. It's a 9-day retreat, and here in the heart chakra of Costa Rica, Chiripa Mountains, where there is this beautiful galactic portal that is holding us. Reach out to us anytime. We'd love to talk to you about experiencing the magic here.
Absolutely. Don't wait too long, because we have a feeling it's going to sell out fast.
Well, it always does, every year.
We have some people who want to come back. This is a limited occupancy.
Well, and it's
usually group is less than 20 people.
And it's next level. This is next level. This is kind of like, what I'm calling in are people who've already done some healing, people who are looking to further expand into their cosmic self, people who are more attuned to the galactic angelic frequencies, because here you can really up level.
Yeah.
You can up level here.
We've had people who are no strangers to plant medicine, who have journeyed with plant medicine many times before, and they were still blown away by this experience. So that's what we mean by next level. You really cannot even imagine how you can be propelled and expanded beyond what you've done so far. And so this is what we are guided to assist everybody with, and hold space for everybody's highest good, everybody's transforming, I guess, into their highest timeline and highest potential.
Let's go, squad. Let's go. Come join the Unicorn Squad. Because we have so much fun. I mean, we are doing a lot of healing together. We are doing a lot of transformation, but all of it too is coming together as soul family and having a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun.
Yes.
So, all right, you guys, thank you for listening. We hope that you get the Costa Rica Pura Vida magic and feeling the vibes here. Sending you Pura Vida vibes. Pura Vida, Pura Vida, Pura Vida. Sending all this magic to all of you. Pura Vida. Namaste.
Namaste.